Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. It's game one. The Northwest champion Washington facing the Southeast champion Florida. Softball fans, families, and teams come from every which direction all over the world gathered here in Greenville, North Carolina to celebrate a sport that continues to grow and to see a champion crowned yet again.
A summer of softball comes down to this one game. Hard hit ball up the middle, runner coming home. Pennsylvania strikes first.
Reagan Bills has just been outstanding.
Out to left. And the championship is going home with the kids from PA.
Who will be the last team standing in 2026? We got 12 teams vying for the title, 4 from the international ranks, 8 teams from the United States. All of them are combined, yes, we've done the math, nearly 24,000 miles traveled to get here to Eastern North Carolina, including a pair in our first game, Washington and Florida. The second game will feature first-time participant Toms River, New Jersey, facing Japan. Later on, California and Kentucky, and Canada against the host region, North Carolina. 4 games today. We're glad to get you started. Matt Schick along with All-American Jenny Dalton-Hill. And Jenny, you and I have had the pleasure of covering this event since it moved to Greenville back in 2021. It just keeps getting bigger and better.
It does, and this is the moment that every Little League player across the world is playing for, and we've got 12 solid teams ready to go in Greenville.
And we got 2 teams that went undefeated in regional play. Let's start with Lake Mary Little League from Florida, a team that is no stranger to Elm Street Park here at Stallings Stadium. They were here just last season. They went 4-0 in Warner Robins.
They've scored 143 runs on their way to Greenville, 27 runs in regionals. This is a team with no fear at the plate.
This first game promises to be quite a good one. Snohomish Little League from Washington went 3-0 in the Northwest region.
But it's not without having to be gritty. They've had to come from behind with a lot of those wins, and with that, they've got Maddie Locke in the circle, who has just been dominant.
Yeah, she has been dominant. This was a team that outscored the opposition 19-3. And Maddie Locke was a big reason why. 34 strikeouts in 18 innings of work. We'll get a look at her today. Up next, first pitch of the 52nd edition of the Little League Softball World Series. We'll meet the teams. We'll set the stage for what will be a memorable week in North Carolina. The Little League Softball World Series is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And every Little League Softball World Series begins with the opening ceremony. This was last night here at Elm Street Park. An awesome way to honor and celebrate each and every one of these young ladies who are here today to compete for the crown, including the Southeast Region champion Lake Mary Little League out of Florida. Population of more than 16,000. Won the Little League Baseball Championship just a couple of years ago. And hometown of one of our favorites, Lee Corso. We'll see if we get some headgear in our introductions of the Florida team.
My name is Chloe Cheek, and my favorite animal is a whale shark.
My name is Parker Garandi, and my favorite TV show is Fuller House.
My name is Kylie Green, and my favorite book is Hunger Games.
Hi, my name is Quinn Marshall, and my favorite food is my dad's barbecue.
Hi, my name is Riley Tolan, and my favorite TV show is Stranger Things.
My name is Aria Tormos, and my favorite school subject is lunch.
My name is Zoe Brandon, and my favorite softball player is Mia Scott.
My name is Carissa Edgehill, and my favorite movie is How to Train Your Dragon.
My name is Avery Little, and my favorite athlete is Brie Ellis.
Hi, my name is Bryn Fuser, and my favorite book is Percy Jackson.
My name is Callie Asley, and my favorite singer is JoJo Siwa.
My name is Keely Willock, and my favorite emoji is the goat.
Great stuff there. Cannot wait to meet all of these young ladies here throughout the week as we look at Lake Mary Little League. This is a lineup that packs a pop.
I've got the 2 and 3 hitters, Avery Little and Bryn Feeser, circled in my lineup. Neither of them struck out in regionals, and both of them hitting so well. Avery Little had the walk-off hit to get to the regional championship.
Yeah, she had 7 hits in the regional as well. Well, in the circle, Madison Locke, who is making a name for herself out of Seattle Hill Elementary. She was dynamic in the Northwest region.
34 strikeouts in 18 innings of work. I mean, she was so good. Threw 301 total pitches in the regional, and they rode her arm all the way to the regional championship and earned themselves a spot here in Greenville in the Little League Softball World Series.
Daughter of national champion, Olympian, and our ESPN colleague, Daniel Laurie. Dominant in the circle and at the plate. She puts her left sock on first. And she likes to strike out batters.
She does. Low 60s, and all of her pitches move. You're going to see her use the entire strike zone, north, south, east, and west. That changeup, she does trust it, but typically holds on to it till a little bit later in the game.
First pitch is low to Zoe Brandon out of Markham Woods Middle School. Had 5 hits in the Southeast Regional, hit .455, hit safely in all 4 games. And a good fire starter here for this Florida lineup. The 1-0. And a hitter.
And being able to challenge a hitter on the inside part of the plate is really important, but that one gets away from Maddie Locke early in this one. You got to make sure that the nerves kind of stay in check early in a ball game. So establishing that inside corner, very important, but it gives a free pass to Florida to be able to take on Maddie Locke, who does not give up a ton of base runners.
Right on the knee there of Brandon. And that brings up Avery Little, who we discussed off the top. Hit 700 in the regional. Big Al carries a big stick. And the first strike of the game for Locke, 0-1.
And to be able to go right back to a strike after a hiccup in the last batter, so important. So I love the way that Maddie Locke able to rein back in those emotions and get that strike on the outside corner.
Little through the left side. Brandon thinking about third, stumbles a little bit past the bag, and she will hang there. And the first 2 batters have reached against Locke.
Well, and over there at shortstop, Jocelyn Day was playing up the middle. Because of that, it opened up the 5-6 hole for a sharp hit by Avery Little. So owning that inside part of the plate is what Maddie Locke's trying to do, but with Avery Little up, she gets her barrel through and punches it really sharply right in that big hole left by the shortstop that's pulled up the middle.
The 3-hole hitter, Bryn Feeser, showing bunt. That's a ball high. Little, by the way, has hit safely in all 5 regional and World Series games as she stands there on first base. Here's Feeser, second baseman for Florida. bunt. Looks at a strike.
And Feeser is the only returning player from last year's Southeast representative that was here in Greenville. So she comes in kind of understanding exactly what's expected. Her dad, Brent Feeser, was also here, and now the head coach for this team.
High 2-1. Brent Feeser is, as you said, father, third base coach, manager of this team. And all our head coaches mic'd up here this week. Feeser tried to put it down. It's a foul, 2-2.
And when you're turning to sacrifice bunt, a lot of times you can expect the ball to be up in the zone as a pitcher is trying to get you to pop that ball up. But Feeser doing a really good job of staying on top. With 2 strikes, though, I expect her to be swinging away, trying to punch these runners and get both of them into scoring position, if not score.
The 2-2 to Feeser. Feeser back to Locke. Her play is to first. It moves the runners with 1 out.
That's the safe play going over there to first base. It was hit sharp enough to be able to get that out at third, but early in a ball game, you want to keep your emotions in check, and getting that out at first base can kind of settle her in for the first out of the game. And
a little message shared there to Callie Owsley, the 12-year-old third baseman here for this Florida team, who had 6 runs batted in to lead the team in the regional. There's a couple out there for her. She looks at the first pitch strike, 0-1. She had a pair of 3 RBI games against Georgia and North Carolina and drove in all 3 runs in the championship game.
Yeah, those 3 RBI, actually the first one came off of a drop third strike and a play that happened over at first base, which allowed the first run of the ball game to come across for Florida.
Maddie Locke trying to get out of this jam. Owsley looks at a ball, 1-1. The youngest girl on the team. She turned 12 in April. Coaches said she jumped right in and grabbed a spot in the starting infield, middle of the order, and she has delivered. Nice off speed from Locke, 1-2.
When we anticipated the off speed to maybe be held in her back pocket for the beginning of the game, but recognizing this is a big moment in this ball game, she pulls it out early and gets a nice swing and miss.
And right back up the box. Brandon scores. Little rounding third. She will score. 2-0 Florida.
We talked about how Callie Owsley was the one that was able to put all the runs on the board. 3 RBI in that regional championship. And this hard shot right back up the middle with 2 runners in scoring position is perfectly timed. You're always looking for timely hitting when it comes right down to it. And Callie Owsley has shown that she is ready for those big moments. 6
runs batted into the regional, now 2 here in the World Series. That one is inside to Carissa Edgehill. What's the message now? What are you doing if you're Maddie Locke here in the circle?
Well, you just flush that moment. I mean, you've got 2 runs on the board. You're back to a more decent defensive set now with a runner at first base. Just roll some ground ball outs.
Carissa Edgehill. She'll turn 13 later this month, one of the fastest players on the team. Well, 3-0 now to the 5-hole hitter, Edgehill. Taking all the way, 3-1. Carissa Edgehill says she would like to be a professional steak eater. If that's a job.
Are you going to sign up for that too?
Might be a side hustle here at ESPN. The 3-1 in there for a strike, 3-2.
And look at the way that Maddie Locke is able to just stay so composed in the circle. After falling down 3-0 to this batter, Edgehill, she just comes right back with 2 solid strikes on the outside part of the plate and is forcing Edgehill to have to swing the bat.
The 3-2. That one is high. And the first walk of the game for Locke. 4 of the first 5 batters have reached base.
And that's not typical. The way that Maddie Locke has thrown this year, they're used to her just filling the zone with strikes, rolling ground balls, and getting those strikeouts. This Lake Mary Little League team, though, has come in ready to hit, and they've shown up in a big way, and they're going to bring in the defense to be able to have a moment.
Let's listen to Coach Crawford.
Yeah, I want to see if she takes it. We're just gonna explore different things. Hey, these guys are gonna hit the ball, right? Okay, we just got to figure out where we are right now. Okay, they're gonna hit, we got to hit. Okay, it's all good, right? First inning, a lot of game left here. All right, let's get these last couple here and come back in and get busy with her sticks, right? Let's go. Real early in the game. Don't worry about this. Deep breaths out here. Find your rhythm. Okay, you got this. Let's go, kid. Let's go. Work it hard. Thanks, Luke. Thank you.
That's Jeff Crawford, 60-year-old, retired and enjoying his life coaching some softball.
And I think that message that he gave was just, hey, let's reel it in, find a way to get these outs and get us back in the dugout. This is a team that plays great defense. Maddie Locke, a great pitcher, but he's right. This Lake Mary Little League team, they came to hit.
Kylie Green at the plate. Showing bunt, takes the ball. 13 years old, favorite team, the Florida Gators. That should be no surprise. Her dad won a pair of national championships at Florida, Torian Green, who said, by the way, don't show me because I had nothing to do with her softball success.
I think genetics definitely plays a part of it, but she hasn't been playing softball very long. Just 1 year playing the game. She was a gymnast before picking up the bat and the helmet, but she has done such a good job, and her head coach says that she's the best all-around athlete on this team.
Looks at a strike, 1-2. Her mom, Kristen, a realtor, was a competitive cheerleader / dancer as well. Coach told us, don't sleep on mom when it comes to the athletic endeavors and what got passed down. The 1-2 to Green. Swing and a miss, and a big second out there for Locke.
And what you can tell is that visit to the circle by head coach Jeff Crawford was just enough to be able to disrupt the timing of the hitters, get Maddie Locke refocused, and now just 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
The 7-hole hitter, Kaylee Whitlock, now at the plate, the rising 8th grader. First pitch swinging, 0-1. A big bat and a bigger personality, according to the coaches. Laughs and smiles most of the time, brings a lot of energy. She could bring a big 2-out hit here. Whitlock skies it to left. Janessa Malone under it, off the glove. Owsley scores, Edgehill scores, Whitlock into second base, 4-0 Florida.
Matt, we were told that this Florida team could swing the bats big, and 1 through 12 had gap-to-gap power. Well, what looked to be a pretty routine fly ball to the outfield, Janessa Malone could not rein in, and because of that, 2 more runs come across to score for Southeast, and they got the 4-run advantage.
A 4-0 lead, and no one is more thrilled about that than this batter, Chloe Cheek, who is starting in the circle today for Florida. Went 3-0 in her 3 starts in that regional. Chance to give herself a little more help. Jocelyn Day. And the scoop no good, and home is Whitlock. 5-0. Jocelyn Day either might have rushed that throw, tried to make it a little more complicated than it could have been, and now the 5th run has come home on 2 errors here.
When Chloe when she hits this ball, it's not actually sharply hit, so because of that, the shortstop Jocelyn Day has to charge this ball pretty hard, throw on the run. The throw can't get reined in, and because of that, another run across. So the defense right now having some miscues and allowing runs to get put up on the board early.
Now Kylie Green is the pinch runner now for Cheek, who is the pitcher. So with 2 outs, they will pinch run for Cheek as Riley Tolan is up. And Cheek might have been safe anyway, regardless of how that play was made at first.
Well, sometimes off the bat, if it's not hit well, it actually helps you when it's a ground ball to the infield because it makes everybody have to field on the run.
Florida with a 5-0 lead here, a 5 spot in the first inning. 1 hit batter, 2 hits, a walk, a couple of errors. And the runner goes, and she's in there. Kylie Green with the stolen base. Cheek will get credit for an RBI single. So no error on that play. The 1-2 in there for a called strike 3. But Jenny, the damage was done.
In the way that this team is swinging the bats, they are a force to be reckoned with. The way that they put runs up early, 5-run lead here in the top of the first.
Little League Softball World Series, Florida with a 5-0 lead. The Washington batters, you'll meet them. They're going to try and match it.
My name is Janessa Malone, and my favorite sports team is UW softball.
My name is Avery Calusa, and one of my favorite emojis is the red 100%.
Hello, my name is Lucy Carpenter, and my favorite dessert is chocolate cake.
My name is Kaya Ho'olulu. My favorite actor is Jason Momoa.
I'm Layla Bailey, and my favorite sports team is the Denver Broncos.
I'm Hannah Schneer, and my favorite subject is science.
Hi, I'm Julia Wright, and my favorite food is tacos.
I'm Ella Bowers, and my favorite singer is Megan Maroney.
I'm Jocelyn Day, and my favorite athlete is Brie Ellis.
My name is Harlan Isley, and my favorite subject is art.
I'm Madison Tanya, and my favorite athlete is Brian Wood.
My name is Maddie Locke, and my favorite softball player is Megan Grant.
That's a Washington team that can put up some runs. They scored 11 in that championship game in the regional with 14 hits.
Well, and I'm looking for Julia Wright at the top of the lineup to set the tone. She was 4 for 8 in regionals, and then down in the middle of that lineup, Avery Kalamusa. She is on a 3-game hit streak right now, had a hit in every regional game, and she's going to need to put up some big numbers today to make some of that runs come back.
And in the circle, we saw her get an RBI infield single in the top of the first. Chloe Cheek takes the circle in the bottom of the first.
Well, and Chloe Cheek, she's got a good changeup, also relies on a rise, screwball, fastball, curveball. She's got a little bit of everything. But more than anything, she just needs to come in and stay composed with that 5-run lead.
Turned 13 years old back in June. Say the key to her outings just always needs to be a smile on her face.
Yeah,
composure, doesn't get phased.
And if she cannot get rattled, then she's going to be able to stay dominant in the circle. Keeping those emotions in check is always the hardest part, especially on opening day.
Well, she gets a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Leah Wright looks at a ball. A 13-year-old out of North Shore Middle School, the rising 8th grader. Top of the order spark plug for this Washington team. Hit 500 in the regional, including the team's only triple.
I think the important part for this Northwest team right now is just making sure that they're chipping away, not trying to win the ball game in one swing. So just getting base hits, stringing them together, and staying positive in that dugout. There's a whole lot of ball game left to play.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Chloe Cheek hitting 55 to 58 miles an hour. Can throw that screwball up and in. Started on a backdoor curve just a few months ago. She's got plenty in the repertoire. She did not know the count. She thought she struck out. It's 1-2. You still got another one left.
New life, free pitch. You thought you were down and out. Now it's time to just come in, find a strike, and not swing outside of the zone. We're seeing that rise ball get up and away from Cheek so far. If they can show discipline on that pitch, it's going to force her to bring it back down into a much more hittable zone and give them a better chance in the box. But being able to keep those emotions in check, get the butterflies that have been flying around that first inning, get them to fly in formation as a team, and really stay disciplined at the plate to attack Cheek.
The 2-2 to right. Full count. Both pitchers trying to settle in here.
It definitely is so difficult to step into this environment. This is probably the most fans that they've played in front of in their life, and the energy and emotion of this crowd has definitely bled into the field, and you can just feel the emotion and everything leading into this game.
Ground ball to short, off the glove of Brandon. There will be no play. Leadoff batter is on. We'll score that an error on the shortstop. Here's head coach Jeff Crawford between innings.
Hey, girls, come here. Get in here, little Clyde. Hey, take a round and look at us right now. It's the bottom of the first inning, right? A ton of game left. These guys are going to hit the ball. Okay? You guys just got to hit back, right? Yeah. You guys know how to do this. Okay? Let's get our energy back. Let's get going. Chip away at this thing. Let's go right now.
One of the best things you can do is just put the ball in play. Make them make a play, and we saw Washington struggle a little bit that defensively, and now we see Florida dealing with that as well.
And not only is it about putting the ball in play, but putting the ball on the ground. That seems to be the toughest play to make because it requires more touches around the field. Fly balls are pretty easy out, so putting the ball on the ground is definitely the way to attack a big deficit.
And that ball's on the ground, and a good read there by Wright. He scampers into second base. Avery Little, such a talented catcher, kept it in front, but did scamper away. Now Maddie Locke, a chance to help her cause here at the plate. She hit .714 in the regional with 3 RBI. Now she's down in the count, 1-2.
It had a double in the regional, and right now a double would score this run from second base. So important to not try to make the moment too big and stay disciplined on the strike zone as a hitter.
Pitcher against pitcher. Cheek against Locke. Locke skies this one, going over to try and make that play. It does, is Brandon. First big out of the inning.
And communication is so important when you come to when it comes to defense. You saw the center fielder Kylie Green coming in hard, trying to make that catch, but also Zoe Brandon, the shortstop, coming over. I thought they might have interfered with each other, but luckily Zoe Brandon able to bring in that out on that skied hit from Maddie Locke.
Julia Wright at second base. Here's Jocelyn Day. Had a couple of hits in the regional, including a run batted in. 0-1. JoJo, best arm in the tournament, according to the coaches. Passionate player, 4 siblings, and likes mac and cheese.
I'm sensing a food theme for you today,
I wrote
Matt.
all of the food down. Well, saw me last night at the restaurant.
I did. You're a sauce guy.
I put the groceries away, is basically what we like to say.
And we're going to make sure you stay employed here this week.
1-1 today.
Just a really pretty spot by Chloe Cheek, filling the bottom of the zone. So important to be able to change the eye level of a hitter to make sure you can get them out of their swing plane.
Swing and a miss. Big strike out there for Cheek. 2 down.
I mean, we're seeing Cheek just absolutely pepper the zone with strikes, and a pitch away for the swing and miss. She's owning that outside corner right now, especially against the top of the lineup for Washington that has been so good this all-star run.
Madison Tawney at the plate, swings up in the zone, 0-1. Tawney has come up big in the past, had a clutch triple to bring in the winning runs in the state championship game. Just 1 hit in the regional for Tawney. Trying to get a big one here with 2 outs. 0-2 now for Cheek.
And while she only had 1 hit in the regional, she also had a stolen base, which tells you she's got some speed down the line. So to put this ball in play right now, she has a chance to be able to beat it out at first if the defense for Florida isn't tight and sharp.
The 0-2. Flare down the right field line. It's foul. Haley Whitlock giving chase.
When you're going for those pop-ups down the line, you've got to make sure that you tuck that glove and run. When you run with the glove out, it can make you a little bit slower to the ball, and I think that's what held back first baseman Kaylee Whitlock, trying to rein in that out.
The 0-2 to Tawney. In the dirt, tag out to complete. Throw to first just for safekeeping. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chloe Cheek.
And she's using the whole zone to get these hitters to swing and miss. This one down in the dirt, gets the swing, also gets the tag and the throw to get them out of the inning. No runs on the board. They've still got a 5-0 advantage.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Softball World descending on Greenville, North Carolina. That's right. Check out the stats. Check out the social interface. Florida, how about that first inning? Sent 9 batters to the plate. Couple of hits, couple of errors. They have changed that last hit by Chloe Cheek officially to an error on the shortstop, but they put the ball in play.
And it's all about taking advantage of those moments that you're given. And if you can get this defense to be rattled a little bit, it's going to bode well for you, especially the way that Florida has been swinging the bats here at the end of the season.
Last year, Florida scored 4 runs in the first inning against the representative from Washington. It was Mill Creek, which made the Little League Softball World Series. A team that Washington and Snohomish took a lot of inspiration from.
It's all about making sure that you're able to show up when the moment gets big.
Parker Grandi at the plate, the 10-hole hitter for Florida. Inside, 2-1. Madison Locke with 30 pitches in that first inning.
Yeah, it was a first inning that took about 20-25 minutes. That's not something that you expect in a Little League game. You expect these games here in the World Series to be able to be a little bit more tight, but you could tell that that top of the first inning got away from Washington.
3-1 to Grandi. 3-2. Competitive at bat here for the 10-hole hitter. The 12-year-old. Coaches say she's always ready to do whatever is needed to help the team. Max effort all the time. She's showing that here at the plate. The full count. Ball. Draws the leadoff walk. Follow the Amazing Kids as they experience their own Little League World Series adventure. Download the Little League World Series app and watch highlights, photos, schedules, and more. Available in the app stores for Apple and Android devices. Great crowd on hand here at Elm Street Park. As we were walking in, the fans were lined up, ready to invade the premises. When Marshall shows, called for a strike.
And I think this is the biggest crowd we've ever had for the opening game of the Little League World Series here in Greenville. The crowd has shown up in a big way, and it's a pretty warm morning.
A little muggy here in eastern North Carolina. Humidity, the word of the week.
I am grateful, though, for the cloud cover, because I feel like when the sun comes out early in the day, you struggle with a 4-letter word, rain, in the afternoon. And
wow,
so
I can't. I am stunned.
I know
that you would say that.
I said it early.
I mean, we'll be pointing the finger later on today.
At the sky when it doesn't fall clouds just stay over.
Right.
The umbrellas today are just for sun, not for any moisture.
And there's the gratuitous shot of clouds. We're not going to tell you what the forecast is. 1-2 to Marshall. Swing and a miss. And that is the 3rd strikeout for Maddie Locke.
And just great rebound by Locke to be able to come back after that walk to Grandi. Now filling the zone with strikes, getting the swing and miss. She calls for it high, but then goes down for the swing and miss. Nice little drop ball outside corner. Maddie Locke, just such a good pitcher at being able to fill the zone in all 4 quadrants.
Rhea Tormos now at the plate, the 12-hole hitter, showing bunt, pulls it back. It's a strike. Again, a continuous batting order. Everyone on the roster does hit. Used to be you could have players on the substitution line and swap them in and out, which I can attest was a headache for coaches. This makes it pretty simple. Tormos hits behind the runner, does the job just as good as a bunt. Right, throws to Calamusa for the out. Mentioned Maddie Locke, daughter of Daniel Laurie. And just following the journey, you see the Olympics tattoos. I mean, she has been quite a presence here with her daughter, and we had some great videos to show of helping her train as a youngster as she was getting ready for the Olympics.
And standing there with her dad, Maddie's grandpa, to be able to be here, big deal. I mean, they flew in from Canada, where Danielle grew up. And I will attest, it is harder emotionally to be a mom than it is to be a player. There's Dad, Andrew Locke, one of the coaches.
Zoe Brandon at the play, goes to the right side and under the glove of right. Rounding third is Garandi. She will score in a clutch 2-out hit for Zoe Brandon, who comes through again. 6-0.
But when they saw a lefty up, the outfield actually switched. And as the outfield switched, I didn't see the infield switch back over, exposing that 3-4 hole. Great effort by Jalea Wright, trying to dive and get that ball. And aggressive base running, paying off for Florida again to be able to plate another run.
Zoe Brandon was hit by a pitch in the first inning, an RBI single here. That is her 6th hits, including regionals. And now at the Little League Softball World Series, Avery Little had 7 hits in the regional, looking for her 2nd hit today.
And your defense really needs to show up behind you when you're putting the ball in play. As a pitcher, Maddie Locke has been able to rack up a ton of strikeouts, but on a day like today where she's filling the zone and the hitters are hitting, your defense has to play clean behind you.
And Little again, her 2nd hit of the day. Off the glove, oh, we're taking another base. Brandon in there, and taking 2nd base is Avery Little. Aggressive base running after the ball goes off of the glove of Kaya Ho'olulu.
Both of Little's hits have gone to the outfield here today. She had a line drive to left in her last at bat, and this one right back up the gut. And it was just a little teeny bobble out there in center by Ho'olulu. And because of that bobble, Florida aggressive again on the base pass, sneaks the foot in. Everybody advances the additional base, so now 2 runners in scoring position for Florida. That aggressive base running is the thing that is constantly putting pressure on the defense for Washington and causing some of those miscues.
And Tormos will pinch run there for the catcher Little at 2nd base with 2 outs. Now the coach's kid, Bryn Feaser, chance to blow this open even more, and she will. That one is down. Tormos scores. Feaser into 2nd base, and it is all Florida in Greenville.
Matt, you and I knew that this was going to be an explosive ball game, knowing the way that Florida loves to swing the bats and the success that they were having leading into Greenville. But then I was anticipating Maddie Locke was going to be able to potentially own these bats a little bit more than what's been happening here. That is an absolute cannon up the middle, deep drive into the gap, a double that scores 2 more.
There are no breaks in this lineup. And Maddie Locke can attest to that. 3 consecutive hits for this Florida team. 5 batters. 4 batters have reached base. Began with a leadoff walk. And it continues to left and hits right before Malone to throw home. Not in time. Another run scores, and into 2nd base is Owsley. 4 straight 2-out hits for Lake Mary Little League.
And while 1 through 12 can hit well for Florida, it's this top of the lineup that swings with a ton of power. Callie Owsley had 3 RBI in their regional championship. Got 2 RBI in her last hit. This one able to score another run. That smile definitely big for Owsley again.
9-0 Florida. 1-1 to Edgehill. For Owsley, that's her third 3 RBI game between regionals and the World Series. Certainly putting the Owl in the Washington defense.
Owsley led the regular season in hitting, and it seems to be that she is leading this all-star team as well, as they put up a ton of runs early against a really dominant pitcher.
2-2. Five runs in the first, 4 in the second. Edgehill, who walked and scored in the first inning. Facing a 2-2 count here with 2 outs, and her team with a 9-0 lead. See how aggressive Florida is on the base pass, not just taking extra bases, but even how they take their leads off of the bases.
You're always trying to draw the defense's attention.
That might have been ball 4, but Edgehill swings away.
And as a hitter, you want to protect the zone. You never want to leave it up to the umpire to have control of that third strike. So being able to protect the plate, really important.
Beezer giving some confidence to Edgehill. A full count here. To short. Day bobbles, no throw. It's becoming contagious here for the Northwest Regional Champs.
And most things are contagious in the game, whether it's hits or errors. Sometimes it takes one person to just rein things in, bring everybody to the circle. So in this moment right now, you're looking for who can the defense really rally around behind, because when those errors happen, you can feel like you're on an island and you're just looking for support. Good leaders will bring everybody together, find a way to see beyond themselves, because an error can make it for a really lonely spot out there in the field.
0-1 to Kylie Green. Kylie Green finds the green. Owsley scores. Edgehill to third. 10-0. Lake Mary.
What a way to rebound for Kylie Green. Struck out on a pitch away in her last at bat, swinging off the plate, now protecting the zone and coming away with a really big hit right back up the middle, finding all barrel in that one. And in the circle, you're seeing Maddie Locke asking her coaches to start calling some more changeups because these hitters have her timed up. We saw her flash it early in the first inning. It's a pitch that she likes to keep in her back pocket until later in the game. But right now, the way that Lake Mary is swinging these bats, she needs something to disrupt their timing and start missing barrels.
Green at first, Edgehill at third. Whitlock. The glove by Tawney, and a nice play there for Washington. Madison Tawney with the assist. But these Florida bats doing everything they can to assist their pitcher, Chloe Cheek. Washington has some work to do.
Athletes Unlimited at the Little League Softball World Series.
Makeup of a superstar.
Look at that play!
The Little Leaguers will be in the stands.
They're so excited to see us, and we're excited to see them.
They dream of being me, and I was once them.
I want to see some girls with game. Tune in to an exciting summer of softball. Visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and more. Great to see the pros as well here. They'll be in town this week.
Yeah, they've had a couple already in town. They had Sammy Williams, the AU hitting champ this year, and also Kinsey Hansen in town yesterday to talk to all of the players. Pretty exciting to have some of these players' idols and mentors showing up to be able to inspire them to maybe take over for them eventually, being a pro in the AUSL.
Perhaps some future pros here on the field. A lot of smiles around here. Easy to be a little giddy with a 10-0 lead in the second inning. As Florida batters, they've sent 19 batters to the plate in the first 2 innings. Now a 5-hole hitter, Avery Calamusa for Washington, will try and get things started here in the second. Ball. Avery Calamusa. Carlin Pickens, big fan of hers. Calamusa was the ace on the 10U team, and has now become one of the most consistent hitters in the middle of the order here as an 11-year-old for this Northwest Region champ out of Snohomish Little League. 1-1.
Calamusa looking up to Carlin Pickens. You can't blame her. The way that Pickens has thrown the ball in college, fastest recorded pitch, 79 miles an hour. I'm guessing she's got a little work to do before she can get to that point.
Avery says she gets, one of the superstitions she has is getting spicy tater tots from a taco place before big games. I'm not sure those were open here this morning, although there are food trucks.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
I absolutely did not. Thought it'd be delivered here, to be honest.
Wow, you're big time in everybody is what I'm hearing.
Sure, you sharing your Danish. 2-2 to Calamusa. 3-2.
I'll take notes for tomorrow.
Now the camera people are just trying to make me angry.
Hangry?
Watching people eat when you're hungry, not the greatest thing. 3-2. And the leadoff batter is on for the second straight inning for Washington.
And that's a great start for Washington, showing discipline at the plate. Sometimes when you're down by 10 runs, you start to press at the plate and swing outside of the zone. But what a great start for Washington as they sit at the number 5 hitter. This part of the lineup does have power, so it's going to be all about making sure that they just string hits together and don't try to do too much and work their way out of the inning.
Harlow Nicely, the catcher here for Washington. 12-year-old rising 7th grader, Stingray, the nickname. Has been Matty Locke's battery mate there behind the dish for the last 3 seasons. Does a great job there behind the dish. Trying to come through here next to it.
Her favorite player in the AUSL, Megan Grant. I mean, watching the way that Megan Grant swung the bat this year, so many home runs. Right now, they would love to have a big hit out of Nicely.
Great stop there by Little. Looking into the dugout.
Not only is she getting the pitch, but getting reassurance from her coaches to make sure that she can execute.
Nicely, and picked up. It's a fair ball. That ball had stopped. It didn't look like it was going to roll foul. We'll call that a swinging bunt, but nicely gets credit for an infield single, and the first two have reached.
Well, and as a catcher, that ball that's rolling close to the line, when you pick it up, go ahead and follow through on the play instead of checking the umpire to see if it's fair or foul. Just play it out. If it's a foul ball, everybody will reset. But in that moment, if she had just continued throwing the ball to first base, that would have been an out.
Don't hesitate. Just make the play, get the out. Hey, no big deal, right? Hey, listen.
Get the lead runner.
Hey, we're coming into the back half of the lineup, right? We just got to pump strikes, right? Have some fun. Let's make some plays. We got 4 outs at 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you're doing great. Hey, just extend. You're doing great, right? Remember all the lessons that you've taken. Have some fun out there, girls. That's all you can do is have some fun, make some plays. All right? Yeah. Make sure we're talking it up. Okay. On the bunt, Zoe, you're covering 3. Okay. They're going to try to move the runners. Let's get that first out at 1. 3 outs, 1 out at a time. Let's go, kids.
And I don't know if Washington's going to try to move runners in this situation. They don't have outs to give away at this point in the ball game. So I am going to anticipate that Lulu is going to come in and swing away to try to get herself on and not trade herself for an out.
We shall see. She was 1 for 6 in the regional with a couple of runs scored. You see Callie Owsley creeping in there at third, guarding against the bunt. Lulu swinging away, 0-1.
That's a really good cut. I like the way that she attacked that ball down in the zone. That's the pitch that you can hit on the ground hard, squeak through the infield. Those pitches up in the zone are typically the pop-up easy out. So I like that she's attacking that pitch down in the zone.
Owsley moving a little bit further back there at third. Now 1-1.
And there's just no outs to give away right now for Washington. So bunting a runner over to third base does not make sense in a 10-run deficit.
You heard Coach Feaser's advice there with Cheek saying pump strikes. I mean, you have a 10-0 lead. The whole cliche pitch to contact probably does apply here.
Definitely, and there's no need to dance around the zone. Challenge your defense to show up behind you. You're ready to go. A comfortable lead for Cheek in the circle.
Lulu waves at that one, 2-2. Chloe Cheek, the true ace for this team. Came in during the state championship. The team was down 2-0, shut them down the rest of the way. Lake Mary rallied. Had 9 strikeouts in that game. She's been the person in the circle ever since, and one on the outside corner called for a strike. 3rd strikeout of the day for Cheek.
And we'd already talked about how as a pitcher you try to change the eye level of hitters, and this one up and away. Finds that top corner for a called strike 3. That's a huge strikeout against Honolulu, who really had been seeing the ball well in that at bat.
That's a tough one. Tough one for Honolulu. Now we'll see what Janessa Malone can do here. The 8-hole hitter, left fielder for Washington.
Hitting the outside pitch is one of those skills that does come along later in your development, because when you're trying to hit the ball hard, you're looking for something in on the hands. But the way that Chloe Cheek is throwing these Washington hitters, she's exposing the outside part of the plate. And these hitters need to think about going the other way. So to hit an outside pitch, you've got to let that ball get a little bit deeper. You're going to let the ball travel a little bit closer to the catcher before you release your barrel out to the plate. And you're looking to try to hit this ball over to the right side of the field, expose that 3-4 hole, or go right back up the middle.
34 pitches for Cheek and 11 swing and miss. Malone getting more on the plate here. And that one skied to the first baseman who makes the nice play. Whitlock in foul territory, 2 out.
And while I know that's not the result that Janessa Malone wanted, a pop-up in foul territory, that's actually the right approach to try to take against Cheek, who right now is really filling the outside part of the plate. So to let that ball travel and go the other way is what needs to be communicated back to the dugout to these Washington hitters.
Lucy Carpenter at the plate here, the 9-hole hitter. Really came out of nowhere this year. Earned a spot by being consistent, doing all of the little things. And Janessa Malone, the last batted out, will pinch run. They're at first base for the catcher Nicely with 2 outs.
Ball.
Coach Crawford was telling us before the game that 10 of these girls were on his Little League team, and Carpenter was on another team. She was one of the ones she didn't coach. My follow-up to that was, how did you get 10 on your Little League team?
He said we kept all the best ones in the league together to make sure that we were ready for these moments.
Throw back, got it. Malone into pinch run, gets back picked at first base. Down 10-0. What a throw there by Little, and what a play call.
Avery Little says, you don't get that big of a lead as a trail runner. I'm going to expose you. With that big out, gets him out of the inning, and they hold on to that 10-run lead.
Jenny Dalton Hill, Little League Softball World Series. There are 2 brackets, the orange bracket and the purple bracket. We're in the first game of the purple bracket, and Florida hanging a number on Washington, looking for a date with Italy coming up tomorrow on ESPN2. And their hitting has been a big reason why. Let's listen to some bat cracks.
7 hits, Matt. I mean, this team has been squaring up the ball, spraying it all over the field. The defense hasn't helped, and when it comes to the way that Maddie Locke has filled the zone, last inning she actually asked her coaches to call more changeups because these hitters have timed her up so well. She needs something to disrupt their timing. So in this half inning, I'm anticipating that Maddie Locke is going to throw that changeup a little bit more.
Teams coming from all different directions. That's one of my favorite things to look at here. Painted directions. You walk straight that way 4,500 miles, you're going to get to Italy. You might drown in the process, but that is the direction to go.
So take a boat, swim a little, live a little, Matt, come on. But the farthest traveling team, Japan, coming so many miles, 13-hour time difference. But the coach for Japan said they don't feel jet lagged at all. Granted, he's in the dorm with these athletes, and so.
I struggle flying from Charlotte to Texas, like for a 1-hour time difference. I can't imagine what that's like. That one's foul.
How are you doing with the Charlotte to Greenville distance? You doing all right?
Yeah, I didn't want to complain to the Japanese players, but that 45-minute flight took a lot out of us.
Well, we were delayed for like an hour.
That is true. Chloe Cheek, great two-way player, just like where he from was at Nebraska/Oklahoma.
That Japan team also had travel delays. What they say, 9-hour, 14-hour delay that they had coming out of Osaka.
Ball. 3-1 now to Chloe Cheek. Maddie Locke to Cheek. Cheek pounds that one to left. That's over Malone's head. Cheek rounding first and a stand-up double to lead off the third.
Oh, and a double celebration over there. They're finding a way. There's a little bit of sass coming out of this Florida team as they are swinging the bat with a ton of dominance right now. That ball is completely barreled up over the head of Janessa Malone out there in left field. That ball was crushed. You can tell that this Florida team came in ready to hit.
The 8th hit of the day for Florida as Chloe Cheek, a little cheeky there at second base.
She must have had breakfast.
Well, she thought she was getting an infield single, and then they turned it back to an error in that first inning. Hit an infield hit, so she didn't want to leave any doubt there, putting that one to the fence.
She was one of only 4 hitters in the lineup that didn't have a hit yet.
Riley Tolan to first. Nice play by Calamusa. And the runner heads to third. Game Changer, the official scorekeeping technology partner of the Little League World Series. Coach smarter. Connect live and replay the action on Game Changer, the #1 youth sports app. Live the game like never before.
I mean, we've even got it going up here in the booth to follow the game.
Let me tell you, as a Little League coach, Game Changer, there's a reason they call it that.
Is it a game changer?
It certainly is. Harper Rondi fouls that one. It's always the, all right, which parent's going to run Game Changer this season or today? And the person that gets called on to do that, it's a task.
I was asked
it's a
to
lot
do
of
it
responsibility.
one time when I went to watch a game. Never again.
Grundy, what a nice bunt heading home to throw to first in time, but what a nice bunt as Cheek heads home for the 11th run of the day. No look was given to the runner at third, and Florida takes advantage.
And it's in that situation that you as a defender have to be able to be vocal. So the players that are behind the action, with your corners crashing, with your pitcher involved in the play, you as a shortstop have to be really loud to let them know what's going on, that that runner is coming home, to be able to try to save that run.
So now 2 outs and nobody on for the 11-hole hitter, Quinn Marshall. Turned 13 earlier this year, a natural lefty.
You see players swing with that split grip. Both of her hands have a little bit of separation on the grip of the barrel, and sometimes that allows them to feel the whip of the bat a little bit more. But that split grip has become very popular in younger players.
Oh. Hit by pitch, the second one today.
I think Maddie Locke's argument is that maybe that her hands were in a hittable zone rather than being in the batter's box. And while you don't have to make an attempt to get out of the way, those hands definitely do have a tendency to leak out over the plate, which should be the zone that a pitcher can own.
Maria Tormos at the plate, the 12-hole hitter. And another hit batter. And you see Maddie Locke kind of shaking her hand, maybe some sweat. She picks up the rosin bag. At what point do you decide here with this score as a coach, what would you do in terms of a pitching change.
I mean, I haven't seen anybody up in the bullpen throwing for them. I think more than anything, it's just making sure that you go out there and keep Maddie Locke focused on the job at hand. With an 11-run deficit right now, you're just trying to make sure that you can put together a good rest of this game, knowing that there's a long road to the finals.
That is 3 straight pitches that have been out of the zone. That ball ricochets all the way near to second base, and nicely goes to pick it up. Locke covers home.
Think about the conditions that Maddie Locke is used to throwing in. When you play in the Pacific Northwest, you don't deal with a lot of humidity. You don't deal with these hot temperatures. And one of the things that her mom, Danielle Laurie, talks about is heat is one of the enemies because the sweat changes the grip. And so in this moment, it's finding a way to fill the zone, find her grip, and really attack these pitches in an environment that she's probably not used to.
11-0 here for Florida. It can be a helpless feeling for mom watching kid. They're in the circle.
And Danielle is sitting in straight center field, and so because she's sitting in straightaway center, what that gives her is the vantage point to be able to see how the pitches are moving and figure out how she can communicate with Maddie going into the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, at this point, it's not about coming back and winning this game necessarily, although the coaches will tell you different. It's also about getting some momentum, planning, getting ready for the next game. This is a modified double elimination tournament. Zoe Brandon at the play. Another wild pitch, or another pitch to the backstop.
But still competitively playing this ball game. I mean, with the way that she is attacking the zone, she came hard off of the pitcher's plate to cover home even after throwing the ball to the backstop. She's not giving up, and that's the tenacity that you're looking for in a pitcher. One that wants the ball even in these moments that feel like the world is stacked against you.
Zoe Brandon has been terrific so far today, but grounds out to Locke. And that'll do it. A couple of runs left on base. Another comes home. It's 11-0 Florida. Maddie Locke needs some help from the bats. The Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Matt Schick, Jenny Dalton Hill, the first of 4 games today here on ESPN2. And the first game going the way of Florida from Lake Mary Little League. They were here last year. They're back again looking for more, and they've got enough runs. I think now it's just about getting outs, but 11-0. Florida over Washington.
And this has really made a statement for Florida. In the first game, they have put every other team here on notice that they are ready to swing the bats and put a ton of runs up on the board.
Lucy Carpenter looks at a ball, 1-0. This is a Northwest Region champion, Washington, out of Snohomish Little League, that is not used to setbacks, or is used to setbacks, not unaccustomed to them in big tournaments. Ball. 2-1. They lost game 1 of the state tournament and then had to win 7 straight games to win the championship, including 2 games in 1 day to win the state title, beating Othello in the state championship.
And after that loss in game 1, Coach said he brought the team together and had the meeting about what it was going to take then to win that state tournament. He said he explained the road to regionals in that moment, and from that moment on, there became the players initiated these player-led meetings and started sticking to routines. They put their head down and won 7 straight to make it to the regional championship or state championship game.
What a pitch there from Cheek, her 4th of the day.
And you're just seeing all facets of the game right now showing up. Look at this. I mean, that's perfect 12-6 spin on that changeup, down and in. I mean, ahead of the swing. Beautiful spot by Chloe Cheek, her 4th strikeout of the game against Washington, who hasn't even been through the lineup completely.
Yeah, to your point, the 10-hole hitter here. There's only going to be a few players that get multiple at-bats here unless Washington can come up with a couple of runs.
Yeah, they need a big inning to be able to get their bats going. They have really struggled to string things together early in this ballgame.
And again, it's not necessarily, or that one's fouled off of Little, not necessarily about coming back in the game, but you would like to see a run on the board as you head into your next game.
Yeah, they were able to put up 11 runs in the regional championship over Idaho. It was a pretty dominant game where they put up 5 runs in the first, 4 runs in the 5th. So this is a team that is able to score in bunches, but so far have not been able to get the bats hot all at one time.
Ball.
Ella Bowers, the 12-year-old out of Centennial Middle School. Had 2 hits in the regional, not getting one here. How about another strikeout, number 5 for Cheek?
And we've talked about it a couple of times, Matt, where you need to make sure that you stay tight and disciplined on the zone. That pitch up and away is literally there to be a swing and miss pitch. Starts belt high and gets you to swing thinking it's going to be a really big pitch. But getting that big break up, so important to stay disciplined. You got back-to-back Ks now by Washington.
Layla Bailey laid on that swing. The 12-year-old has worked really hard over the last few years to improve. Oh, and 2 now to Bailey.
Coach Crawford says that Bailey always puts the ball in play. Didn't come away with a hit in their regional tournament, but being able to put the ball in play is so important to create some havoc on the base paths and make the defense show up.
Chloe Cheek striking out the side here in the 3rd.
Gotta love a pitcher that shows up big with a huge lead. She gets 3 strikeouts, strikes out the side, down, up, and then back down away.
It has been all Florida here in North Carolina. 11-0 lead for the Southeast Region champs as we head to the top of the 4th inning. 11 runs on 8 hits, 3 critical errors for Washington. And Lake Mary has shown no signs of giving up, or letting up, I should say. Chloe Cheek getting it done at the plate and in the circle.
And she's flexing those muscles. I mean, the way that she's been able to throw in the circle and then that big double last inning, this Florida team has shown up on all sides of the ball here in the opener.
The first of 4 games today. New Jersey and Japan coming your way 1 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2 with this gift shop. Great Garb Collectibles. Ways to show your support for the teams traveling thousands of miles. And there's the youngest and shortest team here in the Little League Softball World Series. They came from 7,000 miles away, 18 hours of flights and travel, and they've made it here to Eastern North Carolina and hoping for a long stay.
Yeah, their tallest player is 5'2". I'm going to say it's a small strike zone for Team Japan.
Chloe Cheek standing tall here today. See in the stands, the ones in the yellow are really clapping and hooting and hollering. The ones in the green are thinking, what happened here today? Did not expect this.
No, for Washington, it's a team that typically shows up pretty dominant, and they've struggled in the opener here today, but it's a long tournament. They've shown that they can play with their backs against the wall and maybe play their best softball when they know that they've got just 1 game to play.
It's a modified double elimination format. Takes 2 to get bounced before the championship. Avery Little just carries a big stick. Her 3rd hit of the day. She's thinking about 3rd. She wants a triple. She's got to get down. She's in there.
When you talk about a hitter that is feeling it today, it is Avery Little. She's a perfect 3 for 3. All 3 of her hits have been squared up, barreled up, and this is the hardest one of the day. That ball into the corner, perfect triple. And the way that the outfield has been playing these hitters, they've been shifted offset to the weak side. But with that one, she turned on that ball.
Now how about going the other way? Bryn Feeser drives in her teammate Little. 12-0 Florida.
I mean, this is a team right now that is hitting their zones perfectly. There's some frustration coming out of the circle because everything that Maddie Locke is throwing, they are barreling up. I mean, this ball, outside part of the plate, she hits it perfectly. Allows her barrel to just take this one deep. And with the runner on 3rd base, you do want to go the other way to score that run. Perfectly executed.
Allie Owsley has 2 hits. Runner goes, and the tag is not in time. Stolen base there from Feeser.
And in that situation, Maddie Locke has been wanting the changeup and gets the changeup in that pitch, but with the changeup, it's mishandled behind the plate. And the throw pretty decent, but the tag went so high that it didn't find its way down to where the foot was sliding in.
You're getting these great secondary leads. It's 1 bobble from the catcher, and the runners are gone.
Yeah, they are definitely putting the pressure on Washington, knowing that we are in run rule territory for this ball club. They're looking to add a couple of runs and try to end this game early.
Again, the run rule, 15 after 3, 10 after 4. So they are just looking for more run rule cushion here as we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 12-0 lead, more than enough right now. And as you look at the run rule, trailing team must bat in its half inning, so the game will not end in this half. Could very well in the next half. Owsley to short. Oh, we're going home with it. In there. Feeser did not slide at home. And Dad has something to say there at 3rd.
Well, and in that situation, the on-deck batter should be back behind the plate, telling the hitter to get down. But in that situation, there was no on-deck hitter at all. And because of that, No communication. She didn't even know that the play was coming home. We've been seeing the catcher, Harlow Nicely, holding her elbow in her hand throughout this half inning. And so now a conversation with her head coach.
Jeff Crawford, the head coach, talking to Harlow Nicely. It's been long half innings for Nicely as well. And there's a challenge here on this play. And it looks like Florida is challenging this to see if, in fact, Feaser did beat the throw home, the tag home. Certainly was a bang play. This is one of the reviewable plays.
So you're looking to see, does the tag get applied before the foot hits the bag?
Certainly looks like it.
Oh, I think this is going to be a really good challenge. And when you're this late in a ball game, you get 2 unsuccessful challenges, and I think we're going to see this play, this call changed at the plate.
Well, it was out. It was ruled out. Do you think she got in there before?
No. So I think it'll be upheld.
Okay.
My apologies, Matt.
Yeah, that tag right there on the. You know, catchers are used to putting the tag down. Now you actually have to look for the body as it's coming in. Yeah, that will be called out.
Confirmed. But when it comes to, as a runner, you've got to be aggressive sliding in on that play at the plate. So coming in, standing up is, you kind of just give yourself away in that moment. And luckily for the catcher, Nicely, she recognized that the runner was standing tall and able to apply that tag in time.
Now a conversation here in the circle. This is Coach Locke.
I think this was intentional to send Dad out to the circle. He's not mic'd up, so we're not going to be able to listen in to this moment. But Drew able to come out and kind of just diffuse the situation that's sitting in front of his Little League team.
He played 8 years of pro ball, Dodgers and Astros, minor league system there. An account executive, father of Maddie. Maddie has a younger sister as well, Audrey, who's 9 years old. Family affair here. A father-daughter moment there at the Little League Softball World Series.
Pretty competitive family, and I love just the demeanor of Drew coming out to the circle, and no tension, no pressure. Just, hey, we've got this. Show up. I believe in you.
Ball. 91 pitches now for Madison Locke. Who was at the circle meeting. There's Danielle, the mom. Hill looking to second, and the second baseman, Wright, was late getting over there. And you can see the frustration there from Maddie Locke, just putting the ball in play, and the defense just not doing its job today.
And that is frustrating when you've been throwing a pretty good game and hitters have been taking advantage of you. You want those plays that can yield outs to be made, and with that soft throw to second base, everybody's safe.
Ball. Wright was a little late in getting to second base. Tawney hesitated there on that throw. So now 2 on and 1 out for Kylie Green, who had a big RBI single in the second inning. That will be an error on the third baseman. Runners go. Extra bases galore here for this aggressive Lake Mary Little League.
And you can look at these moments and think, oh, they're just piling it on. Is this good sportsmanship? I think this is them respecting Washington and the way that they can swing the bats. They've not been able to do so against Cheek today.
Green skies this one to right. Coming in to make the nice catch is Carpenter. And tagging from third is Ousley, and the ball is loose. Heading back to third, Edgehill. And she's in there, but the run does score. Nice play there by Carpenter and right. Nice smile there. As she does make that play. Little thumbs up. Hey, we made a play. We're good.
Well, it is exciting out there in right. Lucy Carpenter, one of those players that was not on the regular league team. One of the two coming in. It looks like Maddie Locke trying to make an appeal at second base to see if the runner left early before tagging up. So the appeal being made, and the umpire needs to make a call.
I don't see any umpire making a call here.
He needs to make a hand signal. He's probably just verbally telling her that everything's okay.
Think they want the proper appeal, perhaps? No, we got to do this correctly. The ball was dead. Now it's in play, and now they make the call. Now what are they doing?
So they're trying to teach them how to make a correct appeal. So the ball is in play. You need to call time. Then you throw the ball to second base to make the appeal. And so I think right now this is more just trying to get the process. I think this is more just getting the process done correctly rather than not making the call. So instead of making the appeal, they're going to go ahead and challenge the play. So on the fly ball, you're looking for the runner to not leave contact with the bag until the ball is caught. So there's Carpenter making the catch.
Good.
Both runners still in contact with the bag before taking off. So I think we're going to come back with everything.
Yeah, no challenge here on this play, but when that ball hits the glove, you can leave, whether it's caught or not. That ball gets to the backstop. And coming home safely is Edgehill for the 14th run of the game. (14-0) Florida, a 2-touchdown lead over the Northwest Region champions. So much talent up and down here on this roster for the Southeast region, a team that outscored the opposition 27-11 in the regional. They're more than halfway to that number here in game one. Most runs in an opening game since 2022. When the Little League Softball World Series expanded to 12 teams. Hanging a number here today. Remember, this is also a team that in districts did not allow a hit. They get it done on both ends of the game. Two and two here with 2 outs.
We had talked about why do they not have another pitcher coming in for Maddie Locke. Well, you've actually got the day off tomorrow if you lose this ball game, and with the day off, it'll give Maddie Locke a chance to reload and get centered to stay in that elimination bracket as long as possible.
Foul down the right field line, and 3 players trying to make that play, including Wright, who lost her fielding mask. It is tough to be out in that field when you're down 14-0.
She couldn't find her bat because it was camouflaged in the Girls with Game logo. She just was standing there saying, "Where's my bat?" Coach at first base had to explain where her bat had fallen in the Girls with Game logo.
Whitlock fouls that one away again. 8th pitch of the at-bat. Watch this.
You see it in the
Where's
bottom left of your corner.
Where is it? Where Coach? Where, did it disappear? Is there a hole in this field? No, it's camouflaged.
All the new gear that is given to you as a participant at the World Series. Pretty cool bats, helmets, cleats, everything.
Imagine if they had green bats. Base hit to left. Nice at bat there for Whitlock. Her first hit of the day, technically. She did put one to left field that was charged as an error. But another hit for this Florida team.
The pitcher, number 2, Chloe Cheek.
Just another hard hit ball. So many barrels squared up in this ball game. That one's past the third baseman, Tawny, before she can barely react.
Chloe Cheek hit the hardest hit ball we've seen so far today. It was a shot over the left fielder's head to the wall in that third inning, leading off the third, doubling and scoring in that inning. She is a gamer. Parents Ryan and Courtney no doubt thrilled with what they're seeing here today. And that one right back up the box. Her second hit of the day. Well, we got to get back. And she'll Whitlock caught off the base and tagged out at third to end the inning. Beezer having the conversation there with Whitlock, but these are first world problems here for Florida. It's a 14-0 lead in game 1 of the Little League Softball World Series. The Little League Softball World Series is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Chloe Cheek has shown up on all sides of the ball in this ball game. She has filled the zone with strikes, gotten the swing and miss multiple times, and has been able to just absolutely stymie these Washington hitters to be able to use the changeup up in the zone, down in the zone, and then at the plate, she's been swinging a dominant stick. Probably the hardest hit ball of the day was that one, hit out to left, little double celebration. Some sass coming out of the pitcher hitter.
Cheeky performance here for Chloe. Look at how she's done in the circle and at the plate. No earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a couple of hits to her name as well. Put 3 in play. One of them was an error charged to the shortstop. A reminder about the run rule. It's a 14-0 lead right now. So Washington has to score 5 runs in this inning to keep this game going. 10 or more after 4. We are well within that target. So now top of the order is up here for Washington. 12-hole hitter Hannah Chenier. is unable to play today because of an injury. So Washington playing with 11. And Jalea Wright, who got on base to lead off the game, or lead off their portion of the first inning, was left stranded. 1-1 to Wright. Jalea Wright trying to get things done here in the top of the order and here in the bottom of the fourth. Says she's playing in honor of her grandpa Ted, who passed away a couple of years ago. And her father played Major League slow pitch softball. He's a Hall of Famer. 2-2.
Her coaches say that Wright is the spark plug of this team, and right now she's swinging for the fences, but more than anything, she just needs to make sure that she puts the ball in play. Cheek has been so good in the circle, filling the zone, loves that outside corner.
Ball.
Can't spell Cheek without a K. Her 7th of the day.
You've been waiting for a long time to say that one. I mean, that outside corner has been a really dominant spot for Cheek. Last inning, she was getting the strikeouts by going up and down in the zone. She got the strikeouts early by going away. Now goes back to that outside corner for the swing and miss, extending off the plate. Just really executing some really dynamic pitches against these big hitters for Washington at the top of the lineup.
Madison Locke now at the plate. Skies this one to left. Quinn Marshall is back there for the catch. 2 outs. Tonight in the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun take on the Dallas Wings, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Part of Women's Sports Sundays. Some young ladies doing their thing here on the Diamond all afternoon here in Greenville, North Carolina. Again, a shot of food. A half-eaten cookie. Bring that up here.
I'm gonna have to make a run out to the food trucks or run up to the fan area, get you Uncrustable in the break.
Not gonna do it for me, to be honest with you. There we see the Mid-Atlantic champs, Toms River, New Jersey, going to take on Japan at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Their first trip to the Little League Softball World Series. Heading to the batting cages to get loose. Great setup here in Greenville. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I think what you're looking at with this ball game, if you're back at the dorms watching these two teams play, seeing if you're going to match up against them later, you're going to have to go against some really good pitching. Chloe Cheek has shown that she can dance around the zone and yield the swing and miss. Maddie Locke has filled the zone with a ton of strikes, but Florida's been able to really capitalize on balls left over a lot of the wide of the plate. Has not used that changeup maybe as much as she wanted to, and so that'll be a conversation that needs to happen as they get the day off tomorrow.
Jocelyn Day at the plate. Ground ball to third. Ousley off the chest, and a runner is on.
And that's perfectly executed at the plate by Jocelyn Day. A pitch left over the heart of the plate, capitalizes by pulling that ball down the line. I mean, it's just really important for these Washington hitters to find the moments to celebrate. It can be difficult when you've got 14 runs ahead of you on the board to find those little moments to celebrate, but that right there is a really good at-bat for Jocelyn Day.
Washington down to their final out as the run rule is in effect. It's been 2 years since we last had a run rule here. Just the 4th base runner that Washington has had today, and the 2nd base hit. The 0-1 to Tawney. Tawney to right center field. Going over to make the catch is Carissa Edgehill, and that will do it. Florida opens up the Little League Softball World Series with a 14-0 run rule win and their 5th straight opening round win here in Greenville.
And that was a dominant performance, led right there by that young lady, Chloe Cheek. Great performance in the circle with a ton of strikeouts and then showing up big with her bat. This is a ball club that has made a statement here in the opener saying that they are looking for the grand prize at the end, knowing they're going to be able to play difficult defense, also show up in the circle and put a ton of swings together to put a bunch of runs on the board.
Well, the boys won it all a couple of years ago in Williamsport. The girls looking to follow that up here in 2026. They're off to a good start. 4 players with multiple hits. Cheek getting it done in the circle and at the plate. Avery Little, a perfect 3 for 3 at the plate. A great battery duo, both in the field and at the dish. A run rule win for Florida, and that puts them against Italy coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2.
Pretty exciting to see the way that the bats showed up. You had 4 hitters in the lineup for Florida with multiple hits today. We saw extra base hits, a triple, a double, 2 doubles today. I mean, this is dominant performance at the plate by Florida.
And a dominant performance from Chloe Cheek. Couple of hits and also 7 strikeouts in the circle, only allowed 2 hits, and Chloe Cheek joins us now. Chloe, congratulations on the win here for your Florida team. What was working for you today?
Honestly, all my pitches, my changeup was really good, and I'm just really happy that we were able to do it and start off the World Series with a win.
And you started out with a 5-0 lead. You as a pitcher, when you see your offense do that, what does that do for you in the circle?
It gives me confidence, and it tells me what I can't allow to score, and it just gives me confidence because I know they're behind my back. If something happens that goes wrong, they're behind my back.
Well, you squared up the ball every time up to the plate here today. What did you do to prepare to get ready for this World Series?
I did a lot of batting. And yeah, I've just been doing a lot of batting and hitting with my papa because he's my batting coach. So yeah.
Well, you got to give Papa a shout out. What's Papa's name?
John Davis.
Awesome. Well, he did a great job because you were squaring up the ball with a ton of power here today. When it comes to what this team needs to do to get to stay in the winner's bracket, what are you expecting this group to do?
I'm expecting this group to come out and hit with the confidence that they have and just be behind my back at all times. I believe in them.
You got a couple of hits, and Avery Little, your battery mate there at catcher, with a few more hits. What's it like to have someone who supports you both with the bat and the glove?
It's awesome because Avery Little is just a baller, and she's always there for me and stuff. She's really good.
Well, congratulations, and go get them tomorrow. Yep. And congrats on the win and the performance.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's Chloe Cheek. 7 strikeouts today in a complete game, 4-inning performance. That'll do it for us here in Greenville. Our final score, 14-0. The Southeast Region champs from Florida with the win over Washington out of the Northwest region. We've got New Jersey and Japan coming your way at 1 o'clock Eastern time. For Jenny Dalton Hill, I'm Matt Schick. Little League Softball World Series continuing. Again, New Jersey and Japan coming up on ESPN2. Thanks for joining us here in Greenville.